Hello, my loves. It is Lala Kent. Welcome back to the Give Them Lala podcast. I'm here with TT.
Hey, y'all.
We are still in Palm Springs. I'm super excited because today my brother, my sister-in-law, the one I've spoken about, Cheryl, who was in the room when I gave birth to Sosa, they're coming out with their two sweet kids. I want to call them little kids, but they're not so little anymore. For my nephew's lacrosse tournament.
Yeah, he's nice. I didn't know how nice he was until he's coming down here for D1 schools to look at him.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
No, it's really legit. So I'm excited for this weekend. It's fun to now be, because I was the one in the games, when all of us were doing this. So now it's fun for like me to not go to sleep anxious or nervous for tomorrow or whatever it is. Yeah. I just get to go pack my little treats and just watch some games.
I know. And there's like one in the morning, afternoon, and at night for like 3 days straight. And I'm so excited.
Same.
Especially because I look at him and I remember the day that I went to Nordstrom when I knew that he was about to arrive, and I got him his first, it was like a brown waffle material onesie that said Ed Hardy on it.
I remember it.
With a bulldog on it, and he had like one of those little like
truck,
inspector caps.
It was like a train conductor hat, right?
No, it was one of those like grayish hats with the brim where it's like old school detectives.
Oh, almost Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, exactly.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
He had a monocle too. That's a monocle,
it
right?
Is just yes, it's crazy just to see, and I know a lot of people will be able to understand. It's crazy to see my nephew, at 16 years old driving a car when
terrifying.
I babysat him with you and little things like that.
When he was just driving around a juvie, banging into walls. Now he's could be playing bumper cars.
Banging into walls.
Not sure. And he's got like a girlfriend.
Yeah, like you just walk in and you're just like, wow, I'm now that guy that's like, I remember when you were this big. And it's like, you were the person that was like, fuck you. I don't care.
Right. Well, didn't you hate when people were like, I've known you. You've grown up so much. And you'd be like, okay, weirdo.
The stupid uncle that's like, last time I saw you, you were yay big.
Yes.
That's me now.
I know.
And I hated that guy. And now I have become that guy.
It's the equivalent of them being like, yeah, and the last time I saw you, you had way less wrinkles.
Last time I saw you, you were in a fucking catcher's mitt. So let's move on, right? Let's not talk shit here.
So that I'm really excited for. I opened the fridge this morning, and the amount of Taco Bell mild hot sauces that were shoved into every crevice. Is that like an older person thing?
No.
Hold on to sauces?
That's a me thing.
You did that?
Yeah, because, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but when you order it through like Grubhub or anything like that, you put like 5 packets.
Oh.
Sometimes they give you 0 packets. So I try to keep all. You threw them away? Now I got to go back and get a handful. But yeah, they don't, and Taco Bell is only good with Taco Bell sauce.
No, you can't add anything else. Well, I apologize that I threw them all out then. I didn't realize it was you. I was trying to put things away, and I'm like, what are all these like things that are making it so that I can't set something down in the fridge because it was in
that
the
liquid
little compartment. And you do have to be careful about what hot sauce you use. Like Cholula, fantastic hot sauce, it doesn't go on Taco Bell.
Just Taco Bell sauce. So that is the reason why I keep that liquid gold. Is for when on that sad Grubhub night where there's no packets in there. I've got some.
Well, I deeply apologize. I truly wanted to place blame on Mom because it just tracked that the woman who's like, where's my phone? And I'm like, literally in front of you. Literally. Where? I'm like,
will you call it?
You were the one that put all the hot sauce in places where I couldn't put the jam down on a leveled surface in the fridge.
What's funny is I saw it too. The jam on it. And I was like, that was you.
The more that we get older, we become more and more like our parents, although we try our hardest not to be. I was sitting on the couch the other day and I like had just eaten, I think, like a sweet roll with icing on it.
Oh, the best.
And I had been sitting there a solid 20 minutes and I like feel the corners of my mouth and I'm like, oh my God, I'm my mom. I literally have like the icing in the corners of my mouth.
My mother can't see, so she doesn't know if she has food.
Right, but can she feel? Does she have nerve endings to be like, oh, that doesn't belong there?
I'll let you know when I'm 64 if I have those nerve endings or
I don't know.
If I just am walking around like her.
I've started walking stiffly. I have food in the corner of my mouth. I really need to pull it together. And at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to start getting presentable for the podcast. And
somebody always has a thing of throwing a wrench in the plan, though.
Yeah, well, the fires happen, which, if I can say, more important things, or darn it, I wasn't able to put my makeup on. Like, not that worried about it.
No, neither am I. Bigger things to worry about.
Bigger things to worry about. I do want to say this really quickly because I've been told that Ocean is a very cool kid. Like, there's a lot. I know she's a cool kid, but she's mine, right? So we're like biased moms. But every time a mom approaches me and they're like, oh, Ocean, my kid will not stop talking about her. So I asked her, I was like, what do you do to like make kids like so down for you, dude? And she's like, the other day, hi, Ocean. I love you. I'm telling a story about you. She goes, I put a little rock in my nose and I blew it out so far. And I was like, wait, hold on. Are you talking like your nose that then leads to like your eye and then your brain? Like, very cool. I'm sure that was very impressive for the kids in the schoolyard, but let's not do that again. So yesterday we go to the park and I give her strict instructions. Like, if you make a friend, let's not try to impress them by shoving things into our bodies.
Into our crevices.
Yeah. So she gives me like the little head nod. She knows she's going in to the playground and she's going to impress people with her personality. And she meets a friend. Her name's Julia. And they're swinging. And I'm still trying to get Ocean, when she meets someone new, to not just like start playing, but like ask them for their name before they start playing, because she screams to me on the swings, Mom, can this friend come to my birthday? I go, let's ask her for her name. So she got her name, Julia. But it reminded me of that Seinfeld episode, because we do talk a lot about like having friends and the circle getting smaller. And as I see Ocean, I always go back to the Seinfeld stand-up, where it's like, as you get older, your circle gets tighter. When you were a kid, you had one thing in common, like you like cherry soda. I like cherry soda. Whoever's outside of my house right now, that's my friend. Yeah. It's my best friend. Whoever's standing outside of my house right now is my friend. And it's truly true.
It is.
But also really amazing and fun to watch little kids interact. And when they find one thing in common, like Ocean telling me that a little girl the other day, she likes stickers. And I love stickers, Mom. I'm like,
so they became friends on stickers.
That's a bond that cannot be broken. Do you know how many stickers there are? You go to the Grove, there is a little shop in the farmer's market dedicated to stickers.
And
millions.
Every time I pass it, I think,
I need to go in there.
And how is it still there?
I think the same thing.
It's like, but then again, every time I walk by, there's at least 2 to 3 people in there.
Yeah, and it's a small space, but it's also prime real estate. I'm the girl who's so scarred and wounded that every time I see all of these places that exist, I'm like, there's no way that all these people are staying in business. And I go directly to Ozark and I'm like, money laundering.
There's just no way.
There's just no way. I don't buy it.
Just no way.
So I think all of us are taking some kind of supplement, and if we are not, we should be. But a lot of supplement companies are charging ridiculous prices for products that really don't seem to be that special. And that's why I want to introduce to you LiveGood, a brand that's turning the supplement industry on its head. LiveGood believes that everyone deserves access to high-quality supplements that won't break their budget. LiveGood offers premium products formulated by their industry-leading team and natural health experts.
LiveGood sent me some supplements to try for free. They sent the collagen peptides. I wanted to try those because collagen helps your skin, hair, and nails, and also has great benefits for your bone, joint, and muscle health. And since I'm back working out with Jenna, I thought the collagen would fit my new fitness goals perfectly. I think my skin's already showing the benefits, and I know my post-workout recovery seems to be much quicker too. All thanks to the collagen. And it's easy, I just drop a scoop of the collagen into my morning coffee. LiveGood also has organic super greens, multivitamins, weight loss products, protein powder, hormone products, skincare products, and so much more. Ready to make the switch and start saving? We'll make it even easier for you. Use our link and you can save an additional 10% off of your first order on top of the already lowest prices. Just go to livegood.com/Lala to save 10% on your first order. That's livegood.com/Lala. Don't miss out on the opportunity to invest in your health without overspending. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
So Beyonce had her Christmas performance. And I'm just the type of person where, like, I'm a Beyonce stan. Even if I don't like the music that she's come out with, like, I find appreciation in it because I just think she's an artist that is unmatched, right? And even though I sit there and I'm like, I'm just not, it's not my taste, the appreciation and respect still exists.
From the art form is
exactly.
There. I can respect that.
Yeah, and she's one of very few artists that still comes out with like bodies of work, you know, and she's spoken about this. I don't subscribe to these artists that just put out singles, you know. It's an art and it has to tell a story, and that's just, you know, the little niche that she puts herself in.
Yeah.
So everyone has been begging for her to come out with more music because obviously everyone's obsessed with Beyonce. I totally get it. She posted and it said, the caption was, "A look at the horse." And everyone was like, what could this mean? Maybe she's going to close out with a third album, this like storybook that she's been telling. She pushed it back due to the LA wildfires.
Respect.
Yes. And she has an organization called Be Good, BEY, and they donated $2.5 million, which I thought was really incredible.
I do too. No, that really is incredible.
There's a lot of people out there doing amazing things. And I just saw, I think it was released, yesterday, that Billie Eilish, Joni Mitchell, Lady Gaga, Green Day, Gwen Stefani, Jelly Roll. And actually, they have a pretty solid lineup beyond those people. But they are doing a California fire aid benefit, and that's taking place January 30th at the Forum and the new Intuit Dome. I think Intuit was built for the Clippers.
I believe so.
I think that's the new Clippers
where I want to go
arena.
Really bad because it looks really, really cool.
But if you guys want to watch this California fire aid benefit, it is going to stream live on Apple TV, Max, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, Netflix, Sirius XM, YouTube, and Amazon Music. I will definitely be tuning into that.
Just for the people who may have missed the date like me, when is it?
It's January 30th.
January 30th.
Yes.
Perfect.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Humane Society of Utah. They are taking in a bunch of animals.
Yes, if you know of any animals in need or anything like that need a shelter or anything, the Humane Society of Utah is taking in dogs. And another huge thing is Utah is a no-kill shelter, all of Utah. So even if you have to place these dogs in Utah, just know none of them will be euthanized due to too many dogs. They will find a home. So if there's any animals that, you know, were over capacity at some shelters,
we already have, that's a huge problem in
Utah,
LA.
Like that is a huge one, is Utah. And like I said, no kill, which all of those dogs will find a home.
And there are times that when Mom worked for the Humane Society of Utah, they would have no dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do differently, but I'm a huge fan of the Humane Society. The Humane Society of Utah, I've had the pleasure of going and, being in their facility and hosting their gala.
There you go. I was going to say you hosted the gala. You did unreal. You've done amazing things for the Humane Society of Utah.
Beyond that, it's just the fact that I've been able to see the facility and like really be boots on the ground in.
Well, Mama, she worked there for 7
but the fact
years?
that there are times that you walk through and there's no dogs.
Well, that was like one of my
incredible.
Yeah, that was Mom's biggest stressor some days going to work. Like, we have 0 dogs to adopt and people are wanting to adopt.
Well, and it's hard because you want to take dogs from other places that, places like LA, where even without these wildfires are well beyond capacity. And it's like, okay, well, we have room for them. Okay, well, how do we get them there?
Yes. And they also, I might be speaking way out, but I believe it's Stockton or Tooele, just in that range, that Humane Society takes in horses and things like that.
Oh, like bigger
animals. And,
but the Humane Society of Utah,
well,
if
I'm
you
just
were to
saying
call
for
them,
like donkeys or anything that was pushed to that,
yes.
Like from that, like that's another, just Utah is a very...
There's a lot of land. There's a lot of places who say we have room.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know where to send them, you can call the Humane Society of Utah, and they can put you in touch with someone who can take care of larger animals.
Yes.
Yes. On the heels of that, what we just talked about with the benefit, I'm so shook right now, you guys. I saw on the gram, I follow the LA Times, the Oscars are still happening. Now, that was a shock to hear at this time. They will take place on March 2nd.
And I think, is it 2nd or 6th?
March 2nd.
Okay. And the way, when we were reading it and all of that, in the time that we're in, I thought they could have worded it better and things like that. But I understand them not canceling it and postponing it because March 2nd, I feel like all the fires will be contained and out. And I feel like that is going to be the time where a lot of people will start to forget.
What do you mean forget? I don't know that I love that word.
People who aren't living in Los Angeles will soon forget
so what you're saying is people who don't live here or weren't directly affected will forget.
We'll start
and
to
the
forget.
Oscars will be a moment to remind
you that happened. And I think that is going to be a really, really good, like that's the perfect time to do it for people to not forget what all of these people have gone through, because you see like Landon's mom in South Carolina and North Carolina when they had those huge,
well, people were writing in that they're still not back on their feet. And then I start going through all of these emotions of, well, great, they've been forgotten about, quote unquote. So, I almost feel guilty being like, don't forget about this, even though I wasn't directly affected. But then we're like, well, the Oscars are going to remind people. And then it goes back. That's what I didn't like about the article, is everything that we spoke about on last week's episode. We were saying it's not just people in Hollywood who are affected. And whoever did this article,
it made it feel that way.
Well, it says, now more than ever, the show must go on. That's in quotes, writes the Times columnist Mary McNamara. And then it goes on to talk about the spirit of Los Angeles and our film community has always been one of resilience. And the Oscars represent not just a celebration of film, but the industry's strength and unity in the face of adversity. But you're drawing a line between the film community. It's basically playing into things that I've seen on social media, and I don't love it. I think that they could have worded it a bit differently.
They could have worded it a lot better, because what we just said, they just kind of threw everybody who lives in Los Angeles into production. Everybody here is in production, and that is so far from the truth.
I spoke. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And on that, I spoke to a friend, and I just quickly called him just to check in, and I knew he didn't live in any of the areas, but I didn't even think about the fact that he is actually 2-3 generations have been living in LA, and he said, I'm fine, but my parents lost their home, and he goes, and they're like in their 80s. This is not what they are. They're not equipped to go through something like this, and they're fixated on their routine.
Mm-hmm.
But what about my walks in the morning? Well, Mom, I got you a nice place to put you, and you can walk around there, and there's security.
It's just different.
I know, but I used to walk down this street every day,
and I used to see
years.
These neighbors out. Like, there's just stuff about routine
Yeah,
that they'll never get back. And like, that's the other thing, that you can't even go on that street, your street, and feel something of home. It's gone.
Right. But I feel like with this LA Times article, they are completely discounting those people.
Yeah, the people. Like, I saw somebody on ABC7, and he was a high school football coach, lost everything.
Yeah.
And those are the type of people who had generational, like, it was his parents and then his parents before. It's like that was a third generation home. This dude lived an amazing life. He helped a lot of people. He doesn't have the means to just buy that again.
Right. No, you're
and
exactly right.
And that's a lot of people. You're only looking at like the Mel Gibsons who lost their $14 million home, who's worth hundreds of millions and all of that. You're looking at a small percentage of these people who actually can go and do that.
Right.
Everybody else, they're going to have to move out of LA, or you got to go into deeper territory. Like, you can't afford that land anymore. It was gifted. You pay your property taxes.
Exactly.
Like, all of these people are going to have to be uprooted out of their whole life.
Yeah.
And moves to a different state that is conducive for their income. And that's sad. It shouldn't be.
No, I fully agree with you. I do want to say, she said, use the Oscar and the Grammy telecast to raise money and awareness. Suggest that those businesses in the habit of giving A-listers exclusive goodies donate to fire relief instead. Acknowledge and honor all that the industry, the frontline workers, and the city have endured with a more sober ceremony. Though not too sober, because God knows we could use a laugh. Just don't talk about how they should be canceled altogether. That would make a bad situation only worse. So I did like that she tied that up with a bow, but I think that maybe they should have held off on coming out with this until, I don't know, the fires were out. I mean, as of right now, that Eaton fire is 55% contained. The Palisades, I believe, was at 22 or something.
I want to say 20s.
I think just holding off on that article altogether.
Well, I mean,
just for a moment.
You could have written it.
Me?
Well, not whoever wrote it. They should have just had proofreaders and multiple of them.
They should have,
because they could have worded that amazingly well. Like, we have decided to I don't know, first responder. But there could have been a million things.
The thing that's shitty, no, I know, but the thing that's shitty just about publications in general is her heart could have completely been in the right place.
We read it
different. But and that's what's so annoying about people.
Yeah.
Give Them Lala is sponsored by EarthBreeze. Like most people, I've been trying really hard to cut back on how much plastic I use, but with a full house and 2 babies, I'm always throwing those huge laundry detergent bottles into my recycling. But did you know that like 500 million of those bottles end up in the landfills and oceans every single year? That's why I made the switch to EarthBreeze laundry sheets. They come in plastic-free packaging, so they're more eco-friendly than traditional detergent. I love that part. I want the planet to be a better place for my girls when they grow up and have kids of their own. So EarthBreeze is an easy way to get clean clothes without all that plastic waste. And now you can get 40% off with your subscription at earthbreeze.com/Lala. That's earthbreeze.com/Lala.
Moving on to kind of outside of the fire. I don't know if you guys have heard about this family. I'm not big on YouTube at all. Like I never got into that. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel for the podcast, but as far as like consuming content on YouTube, unless it's music videos, I don't really go on there. So I see the other day that HBO, or I guess they dropped the HBO, that Max has come out with a 3-part docuseries on Myka and James Stauffer. And I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? And why do they need a 3-part docuseries? So they are this family who started a YouTube channel. Myka started it originally, and people found her extremely inspiring. It's a family vlog, and it started with just Myka and her daughter. She was a single mom.
She was a nurse.
She was a nurse. Thank you, Easton. And she ends up going on OkCupid and finding James Stauffer. They get married. They start the vlog together.
And from what the girl talking about it, because she watched their videos,
right
after they met and got married, life looked like it just sped up. Like kids, marriage,
right,
the whole thing.
Yeah, they decided. She had always talked about wanting like a huge family. She said, I want 6 kids.
She was an only child, so that's, I think, also why. And I can agree with that. That's not weird for somebody to want 6 kids and all that. But
no, we come from Utah. That's like no big deal, right? Let me know when you're pushing 12, and then it's like, oh,
cheaper by the dozen.
That's a lot. But 6, and you come from a small family. I totally get it. So apparently they blow up. All of their videos are now being sponsored by pretty large brands like Dannon, Athleta,
Swiffer. She does the Swiffer Wet Jet.
Yeah, so it was clear that the YouTube community that she had built was catching on to like, oh, get it, girl. Like you're not only sharing your life with us, but like you're getting paid mad money for it. And she talks about everything. I mean, from she's filming her peeing on the stick, waiting for it to come through. It comes through as pregnant. We then follow her going to the hospital because she's spotting. She then
she talks about that, like, I'm spotting.
It's
I'm
like worried. In real time.
Like, yes, like that's the other thing. And like that's what everybody was grasping is it's like you don't wait a week. You don't wait for the next season. It's, while you're watching this, they're working on the next
video.
That was
I don't know if
addiction.
You caught this, but she Myka gets on and she goes, I'm sorry for the wait. We haven't been vlogging for like 4 or 5 hours.
Like,
and
that's
I'm like,
it. You took 4 or 5 hours on a miscarriage.
And that's when she says, we miscarried the baby.
We lost the baby.
And it was devastating. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, these people, like, these are the real reality stars.
Yeah.
Because you're following every move they make every single day. It's not a season. It is every single day, multiple videos.
They wake up and the camera literally is on the bedside table. They grab that before their phone and they start recording them. Like, that is dedication.
No, it is dedication and a lot of work that I don't think that I could do. And I also, although I have been on reality TV, there is a sense of privacy that still comes with that. Oh, the cameras aren't up while this is happening. By the time I have to go film, number one, people may not even be interested in my story that I have to tell, or I just won't even have to talk about it, or I'll be over it. These people are dedicating their entire lives to giving you a play-by-play of every moment they go through. And I understand people loving to watch that because it is very relatable, right? So after she has, I think, her third child, she starts getting people excited for the next big announcement. And she comes out with, we have decided to adopt a baby from China. She said, I've looked at over 400 pictures. This baby boy really spoke to me. And this is what I read is Chinese law. If someone in the United States wants to adopt a Chinese baby, their law states that that baby has to come with a special set of needs. So Myka Stauffer knew that the baby she was getting was going to have specific needs that she would have to meet.
And she said that if there were 100 needs, they were all right with 99 of them.
Yes. And so they adopt this baby. His name's Huxley. He's on the forefront of all of their vlogs. And then all of the sudden, Huxley is missing in all the family photos. They come out with a video that says we couldn't meet his needs. He's now in a forever home. And keep in mind, I'm reading this in an article, but I hated when she was like, do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like 500%. Social media was in an uproar over this. So I guess Huxley was born. He had a stroke in the belly. He had autism. And then he had a sensory need that they could not meet. And when I tell you, like they were canceled. And from my own perspective, I think that they should have been. I mean, you go through all of this.
If you're going to put your whole life, sorry to interrupt.
No,
if you're going to put your whole life on camera and the battles you face, why would you not come up and just ask about his needs? And if people have, things that they would do differently, if people have special needs kids with other kids, how do they go about it? There's so many things that you put out on you put your life out there.
Yeah.
Put him out there as being special. That was a thing. And now ask everybody, what can you do to make his life and his conditions livable in your life?
Right.
That is my biggest thing.
Well, there were a lot of people that were saying, oh, was this just a way to get more people followers to follow them? Was Huxley, who is this beautiful boy, just someone to bring into the family to continue this high that they were feeling?
Yeah,
the Stauffers.
The dad started 3 separate channels of like cars, this and that. So I feel like they were getting
obsessed.
Very obsessed with
chasing
the attraction that they were getting.
They were chasing the dragon. And you guys, there's this guy, like, I think it's Ryan's Toys. These YouTubers, some of them.
Ryan's Toys.
I mean, this little kid opens fucking toys, you guys.
But it's a brilliant thing.
It is brilliant. It's very brilliant. But he was on the highest paid YouTuber list for years upon years in a row. They're making tens of millions of dollars. So of course you would get addicted to not only the love that you're receiving, but when the paycheck comes, you're like, holy shit, this is what movie stars are making.
Yeah.
But the entire docuseries is about the pros, but also the large cons of deciding to start a family vlog, which is a ginormous industry. And I get this question a lot. Would you ever want to have a show based on your family? And it really, really freaking scares me. I think the stakes are very high. And, I'm protective of myself. And this is like with anybody. Come for me all day long. You come for someone that I love and you reach a whole new level of just, I will claw your eyes out.
Yeah.
So to put a play-by-play moment on YouTube, to me, exposes you to a lot of things, which also include questioning. People are very good, and we've seen it. I mean, there are people that are consuming content where they like solve murders. But questions start being asked, and some things just are none of your fucking business, right?
Yeah.
But when you have such a fine line where it's like, okay, well, you can share that you went through this ginormous thing. Again, this is not me backing up what the Stauffers did.
Where is the line?
I'm saying what the docuseries is shedding light on.
Yeah.
The Stauffers are definitely at the forefront of the story, but where is the line? And some things that are a big deal to me may not be that big of a deal to you, and what I choose to keep on or off of camera. So I found it very interesting, especially the people they interviewed who are like, I was obsessed. We were all so happy for them when they decided to have another baby, or she would get pregnant, or they were adopting a baby. And I just can't think of anybody that I see or watch and go, I'm just like obsessed and so happy for them. Like I look, wow, amazing. But to sit and watch someone else's life, I mean, I do it with Housewives, but even that is so.
I was about to say,
but they don't show every detail.
No.
It is one specific thing, one specific storyline that lasts 14 weeks plus a couple reunions, and then you move on.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could watch Housewives day in and day out, every single thing they go through, because I wouldn't be interested.
Very true.
I need more of a produced.
You need a production. And
I need a production. I need
not
seasons.
Not an at-home film.
Exactly.
Yeah. But see, there's different lids for every pot.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because
I do recommend watching this, though.
No, the docu-series is really good. We're only at episode 1. We haven't even really gotten anything. And I'm still hooked.
They're setting us up. Episode 2, I think, comes out tonight.
I will be watching.
I will too. But I mean, there's so much that's so crazy in life now, where you look at the Kardashians, and that was basically home videos turned into the most intensive productions, to where now they're, basically the most powerful family on the planet. Anyway, moving on.
You all know the hair struggles that I have had over the years. Whether it's due to pregnancy hormones or bleaching it over the years, Nutrafol has had me covered through all stages of life. Right now, I am experiencing the postpartum shedding. And let me tell you who has stepped up to the plate. Nutrafol Postpartum. That is what I'm taking right now. It's breastfeeding friendly, so I don't have to worry about that. And my hair is already stronger and looking fuller. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, and it's trusted by over 1 million people. You will see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth does not cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to help give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, like postpartum or menopause, and even different lifestyles like plant-based diets. Building a hair growth routine is very simple. Purchase online, no prescription required, and automated deliveries and free shipping keep you right on track. Plus, with Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LALA10. Find out why over 4,500 professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code LALA10. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LALA10.
I want to quickly say that I have started watching Traitors. It is so good. Season 3 is airing now.
It's so good. We had to go back and we were watching season 2.
Which is absolute. It's so good, you guys, that I'm saying it right here and right now. I will do it.
Yes.
I will do it. If they are still willing to have me, that part. But when I say this, I didn't take into account there's actually missions that you have to go through that require a lot of strength.
Like the one we watched, the new season.
It was Bob.
With Bob the drag queen, and
no, but the other guy's name is Bob, who used to host the one about losing weight and getting fit.
Oh,
and he suffered
The Biggest Loser.
The Biggest Loser.
He suffered. Yes, no, it was he. I couldn't. Seeing him struggle, even with his heart attack, I was like, I would have died halfway up that hill.
No,
if he can't do it, I can't. But it's just incredible to see them actually working their asses off
in the missions.
But
I don't think I could be a traitor. I have too many tells.
But that's the good thing about your interview on the way in.
Do they give an interview?
Yeah,
How do you know more about the interview process than I do?
It was on the very beginning. You walk in and you talk and you just tell about you and if you'd be a good trader or not, but you would just be like, I don't know if I would. I have a lot of tells and I think they would get me pretty early.
Well, I think I would accidentally slip up. Well, if we were talking about something, I would be like, well, in our meeting last night with all the faithfuls. Oops.
No, you'd be out first. You got to get your shit ready.
I'm obsessed with Gabby. Okay. she was the only one who was on to who the traitor was. All right. She's like, I heard him in the bookcase. And then everyone meets at breakfast and she goes, I thought I was onto something. And immediately it was debunked. And I'm like,
no,
you know,
fight.
And I love her because she's like talking about, she's a bachelor, right?
Yeah. And she's the cutest thing.
She's the cutest. She goes,
highest, littlest voice.
We named ourselves the Bambis because we all have big brown eyes and they're kind of doe-like. I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed with you, but no way would I want to be on your team because actually maybe I would because no one kills the people who are
like her
up in the clouds, right?
But for her, when like she saw them, spoiler alert, when they're like in the book,
they saw it. Everyone's seen it. A new episode airs Thursdays.
When they're in the bookcase, she hears it and she goes, "But I left because I didn't want to be caught just by myself." It's like, yell for somebody, just be the only one and watch two of them walk out. And then even just like at the table, just say, well, why did you two walk out of a bookcase? Everybody's going to look at them and go, well, why? And now it's up to them to trip through their stories of whatever it is. But you could have done it.
But by the way, even without that, she was onto something. But would you listen to her if she was like, I think I know who the killer is? I'd be
if she looked, even if like, would you believe her if she came up to you and she looked and just said, so-and-so and so-and-so came out of a random bookcase? I'd be like, I believe you because you're not making that up. Exactly.
I'd believe her.
And I'd be like, okay, let's get them. Like all she had to do was wait there.
But she did. But she talked about it in breakfast. And everyone was like.
But she heard a voice. That's it. You can't just hear a voice.
No, but she said, I heard Danielle's voice.
Yeah. And it was Danielle. But instead of saying, I heard Danielle's voice, instead
I would have sat outside the door.
And then watched her walk out.
I would have sat there.
And then
or like in the corner hiding. And then watched who came out.
And then you follow them. And then you get people and go, these two came out of a weird bookcase.
I also couldn't do it because I don't think that I could turn on another traitor like freaking Rob. Rob? Yeah.
Boston Rob. But I think he did the right thing. I think Bob the drag queen he was too loud. Like he even said, he was in charge of everything. He was going to get eaten. And now Rob looks like a nice faithful. Which question?
Yeah.
If the traitors win, does Bob still get some of the money being a traitor?
No, he's done.
You have to be in the game.
Yep, you have to be in the game. So I think that was episode 3 or 4 that aired. 3 that aired. A new episode of Traitors is going to air tomorrow night. I can't wait.
I know.
Let's talk about all the things that are happening in air news. AIR. So a Southwest pilot was arrested minutes before takeoff for allegedly being drunk. My biggest freaking fear, you guys. A TSA officer noticed he allegedly smelled of alcohol and appeared intoxicated. So apparently this flight was about to take off. I think it was like 7 a.m. and they pushed it to like 10:45. The TSA officer could smell alcohol on his breath and noticed he was acting a little off. And he said in his interview that they're taught if you see something, say something. So this TSA officer says something. The pilot is on the plane doing his pre-check when officers arrive and say, you got to come with us. They give him the field sobriety test, which he does not pass. And he says, I had a few beers late last night. Still not okay. Still not okay.
No. You've got lives on board.
You guys, I just keep going back to if this TSA agent didn't say anything, this drunken fool would have had 100+ people in the air. This was in Georgia. What the fuck? Is that not terrifying?
No, it's terrifying. It's terrifying to know that wasn't his first time. That was just his first time getting caught.
See, and that's where my head goes too. I'm like, if you're just showing up like that, this ain't your first time.
No, you got by. So if somebody smelt it on you, that's the type of person where he forgot his scope or something. Like that wasn't his first rodeo, and that scares me even more.
But you have to drink quite a bit for you to smell like alcohol.
Like, yeah, when you're sweating and smelling, that's embedded in your body right now.
Well, that's what I think.
I would like to know his alcohol level. That's what I would like to know. I'm going to
Google more today because this literally just came out. Well, by the time this airs, you guys will probably know about it. And then there was I'm really upset about this one.
I don't like this one, but there's a couple things that I get it. But go on.
Alaska Airlines flight attendant fired for twerking on the plane. So in the video, if you guys haven't seen it, she's on a plane. There's no passengers. It's before
like pre-boarding, or it could have been they all got off the plane.
Well, it says the video recorded during a 2-hour wait for the captain was intended to celebrate the conclusion of her probationary period with the airline. She captioned the video, and this is her caption, ghetto bit till I die. Don't let the uniform fool you. And then she shared it to both TikTok and Instagram. So apparently there are guidelines with the airline when it comes to social media. I watched the video. I thought the video was very cute. It looked like she was celebrating something, right? I did not find it to be provocative or
distasteful. Like, it was.
I thought it was cute.
I thought it was very cute. And like the twerking, she literally starts off the video with like a twerk and a half, and then just turns around and is like dancing. No one's on board the plane.
No, but it's like a very cute dance. She's like clapping her hands. She's like dancing like I would dance with Ocean. Not the clapping. I don't have much to twerk. So,
I mean, like, that's the thing. I've seen women do that near kids, near everything.
I know, but
find it how you want to find it. I mean, it's going to be a difference of opinion for sure. But for me, it wasn't worth her losing her job. But then again, her probation period, what was that due to? Twerking again?
No, I think it was you.
Or she was late,
no.
But she was on a probation period.
No.
Oh, like she had her job 6 months.
You have your job, and they probably put you on a trial run.
Yeah, your probation. Yes, you're right.
How
now
many?
She gets insurance or
yes, like now you finally
actually
get the job.
Yes.
But she did say, "I never thought a single moment would cost me everything." She further commented on societal sensitivity, remarking, "Can't even be yourself anymore without the world being so sensitive. What's wrong with a little twerk before work? People act like they never did that before." Hey, I've done it before.
Hey, I agree.
I want to wrap with Jenna Lyons, who's on Real Housewives of New York. Horrendous season. Didn't watch. I don't know many people who did. So this could Jenna Lyons is fantastic, right?
Here's the thing. I like the whole cast. Something just needs to happen.
Right. Exactly. It has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with like just something wasn't working.
Yeah, like storylines need to change. I find everybody on New York to be very interesting.
Me too.
Very interesting. But yeah, they got to do something.
Well, guess what Jenna Lyons showed up in to the reunion? She wore a bathrobe. She looked fabulous.
That is instead of like a tighting dress and all that.
Yeah. Keep in mind, last season, you guys, she wore jeans. Because she's Jenna fucking Lyons.
Well, yeah, and when you're in the industry of fashion, nobody can tell you no.
This bathrobe was $4,000. Okay. She wore diamonds with it. Here's where I want to hate on her. Okay. It is Balenciaga. And you guys, back in the day when the Balenciaga stuff was happening, I was like, I proudly don't own anything of Balenciaga. I open my tiniest little armoire in the apartment and I see an electric blue mini Balenciaga bag. And then I have those tiny little glasses that are also Balenciaga. I did not mean to lie to you guys. I just, my memory slipped me.
I have Balenciaga stuff. I have kept it. I have not worn it and will not wear it until, like I said, they do a clean house of that whole brand and everybody in it.
Well, I don't love that she wore the Balenciaga. And honestly, I want to hate on the bathrobe. When I first saw this, I was like, fuck that. Maybe because I was a little jealous.
cozy.
But then I looked at her in it and I'm like, she looks so chic. But is this a moment for them to try and get people talking about this season? Because all I've seen is Bravo people dragging Real Housewives of New York right now. None of the people specifically, more about
the blogs,
just it being a horrendous season. But you know what? If they're all going to show up in bathrobes that cost $4,000, I'll watch next season. That's just my take. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. We will be back in studio next week. I hope you're all safe, happy, healthy. Enjoy the rest of your week. Happy hump day. Catch you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Did I get all three? I'm getting really good at that.